Hey Lambo fans, unfortunately if you're a regular scale modeler, this isn't for you. This is a cartoon version. It's made by Choro-Q and it's a small Chibikko style. I've never seen this packaging before. We have LP500, it looks like a Diablo, a Murcielago, and then the LM002. Two colors and one secret color. And this is supposed to be a white one. What I'm looking for is some sort of date of copyright. When did this collection come out? Strange that they don't write that sort of stuff, you know? They just don't care about, you know, people collecting old stuff. And then what? Why is there a box inside of a box? Does that make sense? That seems like the most wasteful packaging ever. A box inside of a box. So now, is there anything on this? Okay. Nope, no date there. What about here? Oh, here we go. So 2008. So it's actually not that old. I would have guessed it would be older, but no. Alright, so it's got a little stand. And then it's a Chibikko. Whoa. What size ChoroQ? I think this is brand new. I see. It's just a little... There we go. Let's take a look at these images here. Alright. This one doesn't have the rear wing, but for the proportions, I thought I'd pull it up. Interesting how it's all set back, the cockpit. Alright. So let's get a better look at this guy here. So the wheel gap is a bit of an issue. Alright, that's pretty gappy. The wheels obviously, although they're 5 spokes, they're not 5 holes. But I do like the fact that there's black paint around the fender flares, although the real car doesn't have that, so that's interesting. They could have left it white. And then I like that there's black paint in there as well. The window frame also has black paint on it. Go to the front, these are silver, these lights here, and it looks like there's a little black around it as well. And then a really small Lamborghini crest here. The clear plastic, you can see the motor mechanism of this wind-up toy. Some molded details here, but no additional color, it seems. Black paint wasn't done really well there, so honestly they should have left the black paint off. It would look like the photograph and be less problematic. You can see some overspray here. Here it just says Lamborghini, it doesn't say Chibikko, so interesting. And then it's got the printed on tail lamps there. Oh, well that's nice. Black paint up there on the engine cover. And then what is this? Just some dust. So here on the bottom, 2008. And, sorry. Standard construction. One screw holding the front, and then it's a hook and tab on the back. So let's take this apart. I'm gonna take the wheels off the axles and just use putty, and so that's how I'm gonna lower the riding stance on this guy. The front axle. And this thing here has a little hook holding the motor on. There's a production code. This was made in the 8th month of... No, 2008, the 6th month of 2008. Alright, so I need to get these wheels off of these axles. So in order to do that, I gotta get some vice grips. I'm just gonna twist this wheel off the axle. Yep, there we go. Do the same for this side. Alright, so 2 wheels off. Now the rear one is a lot more difficult. Hopefully. Oh, well that actually wasn't difficult. Okay, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Alright, so now the problem is I can't really use putty in the rear if this thing's in the way, right? I need to actually remove this axle. So with the larger motors, you can actually pry this thing apart, and then you can remove the axle. There's a mobile phone tool here. I'm going to jam it in there and try to twist it apart. Yeah, it'll work. It's just a friction fit here. Alright. Try to remember where the gears are in case I want to actually put this back together. So this gear was just hanging out there. This gear is facing down through this hole. So that's how it's put together. If you guys take this apart and you want to actually put it back together and working again, but if you don't care, you don't need to do that. It's the anal retentiveness in me, I guess. Okay, so that's how it's removed. I put this back. Now I gotta get this putty here. Okay, it's not too hard, right? You could obviously adjust it so there's an air gap, but just I like it's totally slammed. Okay, let's see. I have a ChoroQ LP500S. So I think that's supposed to be the real car that Choro-Q was going for. Let's see. I can pull out some other Choro-Qs here, but they're the full-size ones for now. This is an LP400. And I have 3D printed wheels on that one. And then the ChoroQ Zero, an LP, oh, this is 5000 Quattrovalvole. That's an awesome one. And then I have this Wanda Coffee one with opening doors. Let me open the door here. So it's a really weird styling on that one. It's such a wedge design. I think it's an old toy. Alright, so a lot of cartoon variations of the Countach. So let's compare it to some Chibikkos. Let me pull some of these out now. So I have a Chibikko Skyline KPGC10, the Hakusoka. Let's get these guys out, they're just too big. And then I have a Toyota Sports, I think. Yeah, Sports 800. This one has BNDS plastic wheels on it. And this next one, the last one, is the Isuzu Billet, and it has CM model wheels. I think they were CM. I can't remember. I did a review of these. You can search my history for Chibikko. Alright, so these are all the same scale, I guess, of deformed cars. Although the Lambo doesn't say Chibikko, it's definitely a Chibikko size, right? It's not really my intention to collect these this scale, but you never know. At least they don't take up much room, right? They're still comical looking. They still have a lot of cool details, the printed taillights and headlights, chrome trim around the windows, at least on that one. So who knows? Maybe I will collect them. Anyways, let's let this guy spin on its own here. And pull out this little stormtrooper. It's always fun to add a Lamborghini to the collection, no matter what scale or what realism, or today lack of realism. So you can count on me doing this again. Alright, thanks.